Welcome to Deep Thought, the new upper class 2100. Yeah, I'm projecting now. This is a little bit harder than just with a group. This is a little bit harder because only thing I can really say by 2100, the upper class might not look the same way it does now. Just on demographics, on like racial and ethnic group characteristics, it definitely ain't gonna look the same way. I mean, you might have some blacks up there. By 2100, no telling what the white population will be. Probably a lot of multiracials, like as far as just their body compositions and all of that, right? And that's just one thing, but I think we're seeing the genesis of the new upper class, or the upper class that is going to be then in the streets now. And people will say, Rom, that's crazy. That's crazy. These folks are poor. Well, I want y'all to think about something. Think about something, right? If you look at the richest Americans now, the guys who really kick ass, like somebody like Jeff Bezos, right? He's I think I saw he's worth $141 billion, right? And you look at Bill Gates. Now, an old guard guy is like somebody like Warren Buffett. But I'm talking, and there's going to be some people who just inherited wealth from like previous generations and just knew how to invest and stay up there. They'll definitely be there. But I think we'll get something else, right? Because if, talking about somebody like Gates and Bezos, if you think about it, now this is coming out on, first day of summer, June 21st. No, June 20th, I'm sorry. First day of summer is tomorrow, but June 20th, 2018. If you go back to June 20th, 1988, Amazon wasn't even a thought. It wasn't even a sparkle in some man's eye then, And who saw the computers going up, the personal computer going where it was? They had computers. And they actually technically had the internet back then. But who saw where it was going? Now, and that's just one area. Now, here's the thing. With automation, with universal basic income, what'll be created? Because it might change society in such a radical way that anybody who comes up with something that plays to that society, those are the people who might be the new upper class. Those are people who will make the money. Because, okay, like one thing with universal basic income and with automation, now a lot of people might be sitting around, but then it might be good for artists. It might be good for creative people. Though they might create the businesses, the styles, everything that become important. And, something big might be entertainment, or some type of activity or something. Some new activity might come up, right? Because if you got people making money and then they getting this universal basic income, people need new things to do. Like I know, like in my county, there's a place, one of those places you can put on a suit and experience like what it is to skydive, like right inside a building and stuff. I saw it, thought about just checking it out one day, but somebody might come up with something like that. It's going to be something different and a different type of thing coming. And of course, honestly, it could be something that has nothing to do with what we have now. I mean, some aliens or something could like show up to the planet. I mean, you've had some science fiction stories about that, just needing a place to stay. You might have a whole industry that pops up just to deal with them. Yeah, you might get some pimps or some green women or something. It's like, you don't know what's going to happen. But one thing I can just say, and just from looking at the past, different things. When a culture is introduced or some type of trend, you get something different. Like, I give you an example. Jay-Z, Puffy, Sean Combs, like Dr. Dre, these guys made their money basically with hip hop, right? And, of course, they had a grandchildren. If you think about it, in, I'll say, 1968, nobody would have saw hip hop coming. And look how many jobs it's created, how many people it's created. I think what might happen is just through a combination of things. Of course, I can't see everything. You'll get like new subcultures that emerge. Then new subcultures that create, different values in people, different taste, and then someone to get rich, like really serving that taste. Like if, I don't know, say somebody said, say there's a trend towards veganism, like a really strong trend. I mean, people are going that way, but like strong to the point where it disrupts like the hamburger industry or the fast food industry, because all of a sudden people don't want like burgers from cows and everything. All of a sudden, whoever's supplying that need, shoot, they make the money. And there'll probably be a lot of stuff that happen in this country between now and 2100 that'll cause it. Of course, I said the demographic thing. And, I just did one on the African American mainstream. It might be a thing where you get some billionaires or something off of natural hair care. Like, I know somebody said, the weaves always be. A lot can happen in 80 years. A lot can happen. Now, of course, it could go the other direction. Everything could stay the way it is. But it's going to be something new. And I'm going to tell you the basis of it is going to be entrepreneurs. It's not going to be the old money people. See, one thing, you always have a change unless the lower class is kept down. Unless the lower classes are kept down by force, you always have people who are born there with the talent to rise. And they're not always, and they don't always want to do it in such a way where they're beholden to the upper class. They might just say do it on their own. Like on my business channel, I talked briefly on a video. Well, I talked about the cannabis industry. I talked briefly on how there are barbers out here who make a lot of money, like 6 figures. It could be something that we're not thinking about, because anybody who's following my business channel, I'll talk about like different industries and stuff. You had a whole industry just based around skateboarding. It's something new. You could get somebody have some invention. It could be anything. Like I say, somebody in 2053 can invent something that just revolutionizes some industry, and a lot of people just make money. But whatever the case, it'll be something different. It'll be something different, because one of the things that happens when something new comes up, you always have those entrepreneurs and people like that who can take advantage of it. They can make money. And see, once people start making money, that first generation, they rough and tumble. But then they start educating their young, the children that they have in a different way. And, they somewhat acquire like upper class taste, or it might even be some new taste. But whatever the case, it'll be something different. And I try to think about it now. Like I said, it's not as easy with that, because like I said, you literally could get no telling how many innovations will come like between now and then. I mean, like right now, in 20 years with virtual reality, maybe 10 years, it might be a thing when people get online or something, they actually in a virtual reality world. Imagine I'm doing one of these videos, but all it is like I do a live video, and I'm just sitting in my living room, but with the virtual reality thing, it looks like I'm in a big auditorium, and then people come in and out and ask questions. And shit, if somebody who could deliver that technology, they become millionaires. I mean, it's deep. It's deep. And like I said, it's hard to predict that far ahead. I mean, a good science fiction writer might think of something, but, and Of course, you got some other stuff going on. So, yeah. And this is just one of those instances. I'm just like, what if? Anyway, right? That's all I got for y'all now. Just think on it.